Here, introduction to electrolysis. What is electrolysis? So the definition of the electrolysis as following. Define electrolysis. Where ionic substances are broken down into similar substances using electricity. Simpler substances using electricity. This is electrolysis. So we will show you now a video for electrolysis in a factory for producing aluminium from aluminum oxide. Here are the details of electrolysis, the process of electrolysis, where an ionic substance is broken down into smaller substances using electricity. Electrode, a conductor that allows the flow of electricity into the electrolyte, usually made out of graphite. Anode, the positive electrode. Cathode, the negative electrode. Anion, the negative ion, it moves to the anode during electrolysis. Cation, the positive ion, it moves to the cathode during electrolysis. Electrolyte, the molten, melted or aqueous dissolved in water ionic substance that is being electrolyzed. This all about the process. Now we go to check and see the video. This is the video.
Alumina is imported from Jamaica, Ireland and Spain, where it's been purified from bauxite ore.
This the raw material of aluminum oxide.
This is one of the 4 rows of electrolysis cells called pot lines, where the electrolysis
which
takes
is aluminium. Now we will apply electrolysis to the ammonia.
Anglesey Aluminium takes electricity from the national grid. This is one of the 312 cells in the pot lines.
This is a very big large factory for producing aluminium.
Lined with heat-resistant brick and then carbon. Each cell is filled with molten cryolite. The aluminium oxide is dissolved in molten cryolite so that it conducts electricity. 18 carbon anodes dip into the electrolyte. During the electrolysis, aluminium ions move to the cathode, gain electrons and become aluminium metal. Oxide ions move to the anode, where each ion loses 2 electrons and the atoms pair up to become oxygen molecules.
So after
These are the chemical equations.
electrolysis of the aluminum oxide, we get 2 products. The oxygen, it's for medical usage, and the aluminium,
a crust forms on the electrolyte,
which is very important and very expensive nowadays.
This happens every 3 to 4 minutes. The hoppers on the cells are filled from an overhead ore bucket every 16 hours. The electrolyte is at about 955 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the carbon anodes gradually burn away in the oxygen from the electrolysis. Eventually, the anodes have to be replaced, and this happens every 28 days or so. The remaining carbon is broken off the old anodes, crushed, mixed with new coke and pitch, and pressed into shape. The newly pressed anodes are baked for about 24 hours in gas-heated pits. This produces electrodes which will conduct electricity and not crumble away in the cells. The temperature of the pit is important and is checked on a regular basis. The baked anodes are fitted onto steel stubs. These are held in place and connected electrically with cast iron. The anodes are sprayed with molten aluminium to protect the top and sides. Electrolysis takes place 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. A loss of power of more than a couple of hours would be disastrous, as the electrolyte and the aluminium would solidify. Liquid aluminium is sucked from the cell into a brick-lined steel crucible. Each cell produces about 50 kilograms of aluminium per hour. Some of the aluminium is cast as almost pure metal. Some is made into alloys by adding other metals. This metal being added is magnesium. Aluminium alloys or pure metal can be cast into different shapes. The liquid metals are poured into moulds where they solidify and can be lifted out. Aluminium metal is sold in various shapes